The Ping G410 LST is finally here. How far will it go? What do I think of it? Please subscribe. Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Burford Golf Lab. G410 is finally here. And I say finally mainly because it's been out for 3-4 months. And I've steered away from fitting with this head. Not because it's a bad driver, it's because I haven't had the choice to work with. With the G400, you've got the Max, you've got the standard head, you've got the SFT, and you've got the LST. That's 4 different heads with a combination of shafts that I can use to fit into someone. Now, don't get me wrong, for the older player, the Plus would be great, or the slower swing speed, I should say, the Plus would be great. Again, the SFT is good. However, the Max, I just haven't faulted purely because it hasn't got adjustable weights and all that weight is at the back of the head, i.e. high launch. So I've kind of neglected this. However, the LST is here and it means that when a good player comes in with 110 mile an hour ball speed, I've got a low spinning head in the Ping head to obviously try and go down that route. I don't want to go down the Plus, spin too much, waste my time. Now I've got the LST head, something to look at rather than just go down your Epic Flash, go down your TaylorMade, go down your Cobra, so on and so forth. So I don't know why Ping took so long to bring this out, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a hit. I've been out for a while, I've been injured last 2 weeks, I cut my hand open. I've still been able to make some videos and hit some balls, but haven't given it 100%, and I'm going to do some long drive training tomorrow. Hopefully do a vlog on it as well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I want to do long drive next year. But see if we can get some good numbers. I'm hoping 180 ball speed, obviously. I'm hoping for some 330 yard drives and more, hopefully, and see how low spinning this head is, and my thoughts whether it's worth going for this or still getting fitted, which you can for the G400 LST. Both good products. Can't imagine this is going to be any worse, if not better. But maybe give you pros and cons of why you might want this and why you might want the G400. So that's a lot of talking. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Leave this video a like. As always, please subscribe. Let's get into the video. The Ping G410 is basically Ping's answer to combat the other big boys out in the market. And obviously with a step up in price and adding adjustability, you can see how Ping have tried to maneuver their way in to obviously take a bit of market share away from the Sub-Zero, from Callaway, and as well as the TaylorMade M5. Initially, straight from the get-go, this driver sits great on the ground and looks great from obviously above. But does it do what it says on the tin? With the standard stiff flex shaft that I had in this, as well as just a normal 10.5 degree head lofted down, I was able to produce some pretty decent drives. But from a 450 pound driver, you would obviously expect so. Is this a vast improvement from the Ping G400? In terms of ball speed, you're never going to see any difference, really. I'm not a consistent enough player as a robot to tell you marginally if the ball speed's coming off quicker, because at the end of the day, human error plays too big of a part. If I hit this out the toe or the heel or slightly heavy, you're going to lose ball speed. So I never really judge a driver when it comes down to ball speed. What I put it down to is its forgiveness and its consistency, as well as knowing where the head is in my swing. That's just really important. How the driver itself is weighted from head to toe. This driver, I would say, is close to me, preferably as the Cobra F9. As both of the drivers, I feel very comfortable giving it pretty much 100% and staying nice and balanced, as well as knowing that if I do hit it out the toe on the hill, I'm still going to get a large percentage of the shot out there. Now, the big question is, do you go Ping G400, which you can still get fitted for this year, or the G410? And to be perfectly honest, if I was to do a blind test without knowing what I had in my hands, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you the difference in terms of sound, as well as obviously how far these shots are going. Equally both good, equally going to be able to create those options. If you feel the adjustability and the look is better with the G410, or vice versa with the G400, that's my pure recommendation. To be honest, if you're a Ping person and you want to try a Ping club, I honestly would say try both. There's different shaft options in both heads, as they've changed the adapter for the G410, and when you get that right combination that produces the right number, then that is obviously the driver for you. Now the question is, would I put this in the bag? Over the Epic Flash and the TaylorMade M5, I'd probably put this driver up top, with the F9 probably being my #1 choice. And the reason I say that is purely from standing over it, feeling confident with it, knowing where the club head is in my swing, That is the reason why I put this in. Not to say that the other drivers are inferior, but I think when it comes down to personal choice and personal preference, I know and stand over this, I feel very confident in hitting it, as well as not only the good shots going out there, but also the bad shots being somewhere near as well, especially with a less forgiving head such as the LST. Now, as I say in all my videos, it's not really always down to the technology. It's more down to that shaft and head combination, whether your drive is 10 years old or this year's. Making sure that you've got the right shaft, loft combination means that you're going to hit long drives. There's no point having high ball speed if your spin rate's too high, or having something that's too low lofted that you can't get in the air. So always bear that in mind, guys. There you saw my biggest drive of the day, which is about 348 out the middle. As I say, it's a good driver, but at the same time, there's a lot of good drivers out there, and you might have a good driver already in the bag. Just test it, see how you get on with it, and if there's no improvement, then stick with what you've got. Okay, there you have it. 340 plus, which is good. It's up there with any low spinning head I've hit this year. Obviously, this is set down to 9 degrees. The LST that I set down to 7.5 degrees, that I basically got my PB, was about 360. So, I mean, if I got a 9-degree head, I don't think it's going to be that far away. Now, the question is, do you go down this or do you go down for the G400? If you like the look of this, then spend 70 quid more. If you feel like the adjustability is going to be a big bonus to your game, then go for the G410. Spend 70 quid more. However, if you don't feel both of those options are worth that increase of getting fitted for, to be perfectly honest, I think the G400 LST is as good as this. I feel like this sounds a bit more solid, which personally, like the Cobra F9, I like more. However, it's a sound, and everyone's down to each of their own. So either way, you're going to get your money's worth. As long as you know what you're buying into, as long as you know this is the right driver for you. Obviously, if you're a faster swinger of the ball, you're going to want to try the LST, as well as the Epic Flash Sub-Zero, as well as TaylorMade M5, or you might want to stick with one of these second-hand clubs that you got off eBay. If the numbers are good, don't change. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, leave this video a like, please subscribe. Catch you guys there.